All right, guys, it's the next day. We are back, and we're gonna put some carbon fiber on our plug that we made yesterday. So first thing we're gonna do is we cleaned it up. I've already got that done, and now we're gonna put our PVA on here, and really that's just a release so that way the carbon fiber doesn't stick and adhere to our material. Now, carbon fiber doesn't stick or adhere to any of the pieces we use very well already, but if we use a PVA, that's going to make it even less sticky. So I've got one coat on already. We're going to get a second coat on, and then we will bust out our carbon fiber itself and our epoxy, combine those, and make a piece. All right, guys, second coat of PVA is done. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and get our carbon fiber. I've got some pieces that I have done up here, cut into sections for different pieces. But we are going to get these put on to our actual piece. And how we're going to do that is we're going to use some Super 77 spray adhesive, and we're just going to spray adhesive it on, and then we will take the pieces and put them where we want them. And what that will do is hold them in place. And then once that's done, we'll go ahead and put our epoxy over top of it, and then we shall have our piece in 24 hours. Let's get to it. I'm gonna get putting on our carbon fiber pieces. I'll show you that. All right, guys, and here we are. Perfect? Nah, not quite. There's a couple of little spots where I don't really like it super huge amount, but once we get the carbon fiber epoxy on it, it'll be nice. Now we're going to put it on nice and thick because there's a couple layers in 99% of the spots, and in here and over on this side there's 3, and then right through here as well there's 3 in a couple of little spots, just from us layering it up and making it look as good as possible. But once she's got epoxy on it, it will look nice. So next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to mix up some epoxy and layer it on nice and thick since we're doing a wet layup. So I will try to show you a little bit of that. This is a little bit harder as I spray the spray tack on and then put the pieces over and try to lay them down as nice and smooth as possible. I really need to get a stand for my phone, so I'm going to have to look into that. So if you got a good idea as to what stand some people use for their phone or a tripod or something like that, let me know. Yeah, I need to pick up another one. But yeah, that's the step of laying the carbon fiber on and putting it on with our 3M Super 77 multi-purpose adhesive that we use. Nothing super in-depth about that other than just getting it to lay as flat as you can in all the spots. And we've got a nice inlet area here that we will trim up once we're done. Yeah, let's get some carbon fiber epoxy on it. Hey guys, so we've got our epoxy mixed up. What we're gonna do, since we're just wet laying it on, is we're just gonna take a brush and brush it on nice and thick, and then from there what we will use is a roller, and that will help us push it down into the layers, and then we'll put another layer over top of this to make sure it's nice and coated through all the layers. So yeah, we're going to do that, and then I'll show you what it looks like when we're all soaked up, and on to the final step of just waiting for it to dry. Alright guys, so we got done with the first coat, and if you can see, everything's nice and wet, and this over here is the beginning of our second coat. Let me see there. We put it on nice and thick in the final, so it kind of smooths everything out and gives us a nice glossy finish, opposite of the rough that you can kind of see right there. So we're going to go through, finish up with this little part right here, nice and thick. That will soak in as it dries up. Once it cures, we'll be set to go. So yeah, we'll finish this off. Alright guys, that is a wrap on this piece for now. As you can see, hopefully you can see that, it's nice and shiny. There are some places like over here that are a little thicker than others. However, you're gonna have that with the wet layup procedure. It might be way easier to do than an infusion, but the amount of carbon in different, or amount of epoxy in different areas isn't as consistent. So while it's still going to come out and be really nice, you see where it's a little bit different. We may have to add another layer of epoxy once this all dries up if we want it to look super shiny everywhere. But this will 99% chance be the final amount that I use. And then when we make the rest of the air dam, since this is going to be part of the air dam in the Corvette, like I said before, we're going to notch out a little spot here. That's going to sit up into that spot, and then it will trim into the rest of the air dam for the splitter. So yeah, that's a wrap on this one, guys. This video is done, and if you like it, like, share, and subscribe. If you're in the Kansas City area, I have been asked to do a like super beginner style of carbon fiber, just kind of how-to class at the mid-div region SCCA, the convention that's going on here in late February. So if you're in Kansas City and you want to see just how we do it and kind of get your hands wet and figure out if you like it, come see me at the Midwest Convention, and we will go ahead and, or the Mid-Div Convention, and we will go ahead and do a little bit of class. Probably not something this complex. We'll do a couple of flat surfaces, that sort of thing. But yeah, if you're interested, check it out, and we'll see you in the next video.